Hi, welcome to this video on the Quiz Analytics report. The approach and the analytics presented here is the proprietary copyright of Learn Data Insights Limited and should not be reproduced without prior written consent. Hi, I'm Rishi Sapra. I'm one of the co-founders of LDI and I'm a Microsoft Data Platform MVP, so one of the few community leaders recognized by Microsoft for providing valuable expertise to the technical community. For those of you new to LDI, we're a platform for data analysts, data scientists, and data engineers with a Microsoft focus, in particular those looking to get certified in these technologies and to grow their skills in line with the fast pace of the data analytics market. As of April 2021, we've been running officially for just over a year and we've had a great response, with over 500,000 page views, more than 7,000 people signed up, and over 55,000 quiz attempts. I've also received lots of messages from people on LinkedIn and other platforms thanking me for the quizzes, helping them to pass their exams. The reason this site is so popular is because studying for exams is hard, not least because of the rapid growth in features and functionalities of these tools. Power BI, for example, gets updated every week in the service and every month in the desktop. This means that it's hard for you to know where you might have knowledge gaps, even if you've been working with these tools for a while. So the quizzes allow you to identify these knowledge gaps, and the detailed feedback provided in each question gives links back to learning material, including from Microsoft, which has kept us up to date as much as possible. But there are lots of sites that provide where you can take practice exams for Microsoft certifications, and what I see as one of our key differentiators at LDI is around data on the quiz performance that we capture. Traditionally, this is only done with expensive learning management systems, of which there are hundreds. Perhaps you use one in your organization, and even then, you don't get the rich, granular reporting on performance across the quizzes. So the analytics that we're providing in Power BI, of course, allows you as quiz takers to see how you perform compared to others in a similar cohort, and it gives you the ability to drill right into the detail of individual questions. In the next video, I'll take you through the detail of what the report shows. But first, I wanted to provide you with an overview of how this report has been built, as it's a useful case study for people like you in the data analytics space. So rather than use an LMS, we decided to build our own data platform architecture in Azure to capture and process quiz data. Our starting point is, of course, the LDI website, where users take quizzes. This is a WordPress site backed by a MySQL database that stores user data and scripts, which generate the files that capture data upon completion of each quiz attempt. Those files are then stored on a web server and picked up by Logic Apps, which is the Azure equivalent of Power Automate. I personally generally prefer to use Logic Apps because it's not tied to specific Office accounts and doesn't require premium licensing to connect to things like SQL Server. Logic Apps then picks up the file and stores them in blob storage so that they can be picked up by Azure Data Factory for processing. Azure Data Factory, ADF, is what performs the extract, transform and load ETL operation. It takes the data and parses it into a tabular format that it can be represented in SQL Server. Along the way, it applies the correct tagging of each question and replaces user information with a GUID so that the reporting database doesn't contain any personally identifiable information, PII data, except where explicit permission has been granted. This data is then brought into a Power BI report, which is surfaced back into the LDI website using Power BI Embedded. Power BI Embedded is a capacity model licensing model like Power BI Premium, and it is in essence a lightweight premium capacity, which is suitable for external users to view securely without needing their own Power BI license or account. I'll put a link to learn more about Power BI Embedded in the video description. It's an incredibly powerful tool for surfacing your customers' data back to them, using things like row-level security, so multiple users log into the same report that only see their own data. I think Power BI Embedded is also very competitively priced. Whilst the cheapest capacity-based license for both internal and external distribution, so a P1, a premium capacity, is fixed at a price of $5,000 a month. The cheapest embedded SKU, which is only for external embedding, an A1 SKU is priced at just over $1 an hour, which is $675 a month, to run full time, they could be stopped and started on demand, and you're only charged for the time when it is running. That said, that is still somewhat expensive for a community-based project such as this, so we've taken the decision to run this for 12 hours a day rather than 24. So during the hours of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. UK time. That should hopefully provide enough of a window for most users across various time zones to view and report and analyze the data. Let's just have a quick look at the structure of the data in the resulting database and the Power BI data model. So in the SQL database, we capture each quiz attempt ID with an auto increment ID with details of these quiz attempts, the date, the time, the score, and the user GUID. We then have a table at a lower level of granularity. So for each question within each quiz attempt, whether the user got that question right or wrong. We then also have all the non-PII data associated with each user captured as part of the user profile. This data is then brought into Power BI with this data model. We have a series of one-to-many relationships, including one between our two fact tables, quiz summary raw and quiz summary quiz question responses on the quiz attempt ID. This means that it isn't a typical star schema data model structure, but it works well for this type of data and is still fairly performant for drilling through from quiz attempts through to questions. If data volumes became significant and this impacted performance, we could, for example, have the more granular fact table as a direct query whilst maintaining the quiz summary in import mode. We also have a single calendar table as a role-playing dimension, an active relationship linking to the date of each quiz attempt, and an inactive relationship linking to the users table on the date that they signed up to the site. So this inactive relationship can be activated on demand using the use relationship function when we want to see sign-ups over time. In addition, there are some other disconnected tables, including a calculation group table, a measures table, a what if parameter table, and a disconnected table which is filtered for the current user. In the next video, I'll talk through the report and the insights you can get from it. We believe having this analytics makes the whole experience more fun and engaging compared to just taking quizzes in isolation, and we hope you enjoy using it.